it has arrived. The Rodecaster Pro 2. I now am the owner of the Rodecaster Pro 2. I bought this myself. But I'm gonna like put this through its paces just like I put the Tascam Mixcast 4 through its paces. So this is day one, my first impressions of the new Rodecaster Pro 2. I like everything that's going on here, right? It's right here in front of me. And I mean, obviously the form factor is slightly smaller than the original one. I have that one right here too. I still have both of them. I still have the original one, I should say, right? Is that the Rodecaster Pro 1 or is it the RCP OG? I don't know. Tom Buck says something like that. I don't know. But the new Rodecaster Pro 2, it's very impressive thus far, right? I can't really, say, hey, this is this is that, this is everything else. I don't know. I've only had it for a week, right? It was delivered Sunday, last Sunday. I just opened the box and updated the firmware update on Wednesday. And now, I just started playing with it, messing around with some of the settings and things like that. I don't know what this machine does thus far because I've only had it really like turned on and playing around with it for maybe a day or two. And then we have right now, which I'm recording through it, right? So I don't know what it's like thus far. I'm gonna put it through its paces. But right now, I kind of like what's going on. Like I said, the form factor is slightly smaller. I do like the fact that you can just attach it to some sort of a desktop arm or something like that. That's pretty cool. Who else is doing that, right? Now, when it comes to the build quality of this thing, it's slightly better than the Rodecaster Pro 1. And, they said that this was built from the ground up. This is on a Linux platform. You have the Revolution, mic pre's, and things of that nature. And you have all these other features, that you can possibly do on this. But, Rode has all these developer videos, and I've been watching those. And what struck me was you have this device, again, built from the ground up, Linux platform, quad-core processor, right? And what they did was they sort of threw everything into this machine to, make sure that they have the ability to cover all spaces, podcasting, gaming, streaming, things of that nature, bands, in a recording studio. You can hook this up via MIDI. I'm gonna get to that as well. And so I'm thinking like, wow, okay, they threw everything into this machine and now they have the ability to update it, via, hardwired or Wi-Fi right on the machine. That's pretty cool. I did a video and I was talking about like face cams on computers, right? And how you still have companies coming out with 720p cameras, right? And I basically said, we need to just can the 720p camera because it's ridiculous. 1080p is like the norm, right? I'm gonna say that, when it comes to quad-core processors, it's like, are we still using quad-core processors? Now, on a Linux platform, that quad-core could be really robust. I don't know yet. I'm still checking this thing out, but I am gonna find out. We have everything smashed into this machine so that, different spaces, different creative spaces can use this, and I love that, right? And because I've had so much success with the first Rodecaster Pro, Rodecaster Pro 1 or OG, whatever you want to call it, I kind of think that this is going to be sort of on point as well. Again, I have not done a deep dive into it. So this is what I'm going to do. So again, this is day one, just my first impressions. First impressions is, I love it. This thing is bananas, Everything feels good. I love the smart pads. I mean, they did something really cool with that. I like that as well. I like the different colors on the headphone volume buttons, that's cool. The long throw faders are like really smooth. I mean, they just feel really smooth. It's just like, it feels like, something you may be using in a recording studio when it comes to these long throw faders, right? If you've been in a recording studio and dealt with things like, mixing boards and everything else like that, it feels really smooth. It's buttery. And I just, again, like the form factor. So this is what I do with the Rodecaster Pro. I do my podcast recordings. So I basically have that connected to Ecamm Live. I bring in DJ Keo, we do our thing, or if I have another guest, I bring them in through Ecamm Live with the Rodecaster Pro connected directly to the computer, right? So I'm gonna be able to do that with this one as well, the Rodecaster Pro 2. The other thing I do with this is, what I'm doing right now, I'm just recording a video and I'm speaking into the Rode Pod mic, and that's going directly into the Rodecaster Pro 2, and that's how I get my audio when it comes to all of this other stuff, right? So that's cool as well. I'm not a gamer. I don't know how that's gonna work for gamers. I'm not gonna have any, people over the, in my studio and we record, live sessions that's gonna, go out via the internet. I don't have any of that sort of, I don't need that, right? But, they spoke about how this thing can, really connect to a digital audio workstation, PreSonus, Pro Tools, Ableton, Logic, whatever, right? I'm really interested in that. So those are the things I'm looking into. I'm looking into, one, how does this thing work connected with Ecamm Live when I do my podcast? Two, how does the audio sound with these new sort of like built from the ground up preamps, mic preamps, the Revolution preamps. You have some other sort of effects that they added on this as well. I love the smart pad, so you gotta love that. And I wanna see if I can MIDI map this to, my digital audio workstation. I use PreSonus Studio One. And I wanna see if I can basically make this Rodecaster Pro 2 into a DAW controller. I already have one. I have the Faderport 8, the PreSonus Faderport 8, but I wanna see if you could possibly do this, right? I know that you can connect this to a digital audio workstation because I've done it with the Rodecaster Pro 1. Again, I don't know what this is. I mean, is it the 1? Is it the OG? Or should we just call it the Rodecaster Pro? But right now, I'm on the Rodecaster Pro 2. I like what I'm seeing right now. Again, this is just day one. And my first impressions are, I like this thing. The mic pre's thus far, because I did a short recording just to see what the mic pre's sound like. Again, went through all my settings, set everything up, just one mic, and that's cool. The other thing I'm going to do is this. So if the mic pre's are built from the ground up, the Revolution mic pre's, right, which is dope. Who else is doing that, right? I want to do a serious comparison between the Rodecaster Pro 2 and the Rodecaster Pro OG using the same microphone, the Rode Pod mic. Let's just see what these preamps, these mic preamps really sound like, right? If we could actually see or hear a big difference with the mic pre's, because if so, then that's gonna be major, right? And I also like the fact that this was built or is built on a Linux platform. I am a huge fan of Linux. If you guys, or if anyone out there is thinking about Linux, go get you a Raspberry Pi, install Ubuntu, the latest version, and just goof off with it. It's a pretty stable, operating system, and a lot of, serious high-end, highbrow tech people do use Linux because it's just kind of cool to use and it's really simple, right? I am super excited. I have the Rodecaster Pro 2. This thing looks gorgeous. I don't know. Again, first impressions, I'm feeling it, So let's wrap this up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a few more videos about things I've done, things I've run into, features that are cool, just how the mic pre's are. We're definitely going to do an A/B test with the Rodecaster Pro OG and then a Rodecaster Pro 2. And we're going to use the same microphone, the Rode Pod mic, and we just want to see what this sounds like. Which one is better? Which one has the better, mic pre's? Because the way Rode puts it is these joints are just banana cakes. Well, let's see, So I'm going to do that A/B test in another video. Well, there you have it. Until next time, peace. And don't forget to check out our t-shirts on Amazon, exclusively on Amazon. We have some really great designs. It helps the channel out, and you receive your t-shirt in 2 days. 2 days. Order on Amazon, receive your t-shirts in 2 days, help the channel out, and leave a comment. Until next time, peace.